So today's speaker's from, I know where they're from because I went there and I'm blanking. Iowa Central Credit Union, ICCU. There we go. We have Amber Kaufman King and Christy Massey. I'm screwing it all up today.
Not easy, is it, Bob?
Amber is a business relationship officer. Amber is a Boise native and BSU graduate. And as a previous business owner, she knows the struggle and the real journey that can be long. Christy Massey is a community development officer. Christy has been serving Iowa Central Credit Union members since 2009, being involved in the community and helping members achieve financial success. It is ICCU's mission and one of our many passions. And here's Christy and Anna.
Hello, welcome. Hope your guys' lunches are delicious. Strongly recommend that cinnamon thing that I'm not supposed to eat. Anyway, my name is Amber King. I am a business relationship officer at ICCU. I work on the business side, helping our business members achieve financial success. I deal in kind of the hub of all relationships on the business side, and so anytime I need to get somebody else involved, Christy is in community development, and so we kind of, I help with the businesses, she helps with the employees, and together we kind of make magic for our businesses. So today, let's see. All right. So what you'll learn today, and we just kind of wanted to open the floor up to and just kind of give some ideas, because banking, let's be real, everybody needs a bank, everybody needs a debit card, everybody needs credit, right? But we want you to make sure that you can have informed decisions about managing your investments, your savings accounts, and operating accounts. Also, what we've noticed is as a lot of, and I used to own my own business in Idaho, as a lot of us started getting bigger, then your needs start to change, but then nobody actually does that kind of wellness check-in on your finances. Nobody actually sits down, every 6 months to a year with their business banker and says like, hey, am I getting everything I need? And so that's where we're kind of imploring you guys to open up some ideas, to have some additional information as you go sit with your bankers and or us, if you bank with us, and just kind of have an idea about some of the questions and be very poignant and very purposeful about how you're using your time when you are in the bank. And just also, we want to make sure that you help your employees be more financially successful as well. So, kind of in a broad overview, and some of you guys might know a lot, some of you might know a little, and it depends on kind of where you are with your journey as far as business goes, but there's 3 essential buckets of money, which hopefully are lots and full, right? But, so there's like your big money, right? So your investments, your 401k, kind of the things that we talk about retirement and comp plans. And so, as business owners, and I even struggled with this too, even though I had a finance degree as I had my business, it was like, I know I'm supposed to do retirement, but who am I supposed to talk to, and how does that work, and how much should I put in, and like I want to sip cocktails, in Tahiti when I'm 70 or 65 or however that looks, right? Like, what does that look like? And as we grow, I know we're trying to feed our business and keep all that going, but then also we need to have a plan for the future. We have short-term funds, which is like your money market savings, and sweep funds, which we'll get into in a little bit, and then CDs and some of those things, and then your operating accounts, right? So money market checking, just regular basic operating checking accounts, and then analyzed checking accounts. So, and that's kind of our biggest goal here, right? Is that as you guys develop and as you guys grow and as you guys kind of evolve into a larger organization, or if you're starting out, kind of where once I hit this milestone, then I might want to ask a question, right? Once I hit this milestone, I might want to see if there's some different way that I can save money or make money. And so that's kind of what we're looking to do, and just kind of do a broad overview of that for you. Big money. Where should I put it? A checking account obviously, helps with your day-to-day, everybody needs one. Very short-term, very, transactional, so volume, high volume in, high volume out kind of stuff. And then it's not really the place to keep your larger investments. Like we have some people and they just want to keep it all in their checking account because it makes them feel good, right? And we all need to be able to put our heads on the pillow at night. But at the same time, if you can take a chunk of that and go have it work harder for you somewhere else, then you need to. And yes, it might not make you feel good every time you look at your income statement or your balance sheet or your checking account, but if you can survive where it's working for you on the other side, then that's what we need to kind of, at least talk about or think about or when you guys get there. So some of your options, there's a savings account or a sweep account. And so some of the investment tax shelter plans, especially as small business owners, you guys have so many avenues to put money away for your retirement, to be able to make that money work for you guys, and have a strategic plan for what you guys do. And it's also some of the tax ways that we can shelter it for you to make it so it's as affordable as it can be, which let's be real, we'd rather it all go in our pockets so we can go to Aruba, but at the same time, we're not gonna be able to drink, right, mojitos on a beach at 70 to do that. Also, executive comp plans, as things have kind of evolved and as businesses have evolved, as owners, you guys can do interesting ways to kind of do some of your tax comp planning. And once again, tax shelter, it's also a way, because I have many businesses who are like, well, I have maybe 30 employees, but I have like 3 key people that if they left, I would drop, right? So when you're starting to talk about how to retain your talent, which is a huge issue for everybody in Idaho, who do you need to support and who do you need to strategically place and keep in your business so you can actually make sure they feel as comfortable as you do to be able to stay and help you guys do what you're doing in your business. Obviously, 401k plans, the same as far as that goes, and then employee insurance options. So those are kind of some of the things that when you're talking about long term, how to keep your employees, retain them, keep them happy as well as yourself. Those are some of the things to think about. Short-term funds, I'm gonna kind of blow through this. Everybody kind of understands that rates are really low right now, right? So, and everybody complains about the rates. But if you're at a financial institution that's giving you like 0.00 nothing, there might be other options. That said, you have to weigh the fact that what your rate is versus how much money you have, and then what the reward is as well. So we just wanted you to kind of see, on $500,000, if you're getting 0.01, that's $50. But at 0.3, it's $1,500. So maybe that is some nice gift cards in the holidays for your employees. Maybe that is, a weekend away. I'm not saying you're going to Aruba on $1,500, right? But you are going to do something fun for $1,500, or maybe that's towards your holiday party. So the fact remains is even at low amounts, and these are variable rates, right? So everybody was excited when they were getting like 3% on their checking account or 3% on their savings, but you were also paying 8% on your mortgage. Well, now everybody's paying 3%, and now they're complaining about rates, right? So it's relative, but how, especially if you have more deposits, how do you make those work for you in the short term and then the long term? CDs. I bring it up because it's very old school, honestly. I wouldn't. So CDs, what you have to think about, they're a set term. You get some money. Be mindful, because once you lock it up, it's very expensive to take it out. And if rates are low like they are now, you have to figure out, are rates going to go up? And what kind of thing do I want to lock into now? Or if rates are super high, like let's be real, a couple of people that locked into like 5-year rates 2 years ago, they think they're pretty awesome at this point, right? And did they know at the time? Probably not. Nobody knew, right? So I think there are ways that make more sense, that are more liquid, that you can use and be more mindful than CDs. But I know there's some super passionate people about their CDs, and they just love them. That said, I think there's a lot of other avenues that you can do differently, but we throw them out there and we have them. Analyze checking account. And again, I'm just kind of like do a broad analysis of it, but as you guys grow your businesses and as you start getting into high volumes of checks or transactions, you can essentially ask your bank, and almost every bank has them or financial institution has them, but usually on an analyzed account, your rate return or your earnings credit is higher, which means you're not actually getting real money in your pocket, but you're paying for the goods and services that you do. Case in point, like I had a member who did a lot of wires and they started doing a lot of transactions and they had a lot of money and they were in a basic account. They called me and they're like, hey Amber, like we're kind of tired of paying all the fees. And so we reorganized it, we put them into an analyzed account and now they pay none of the fees for wires. So that said, the $20 or $30 they were making in interest, that was negligent versus the $150 they were paying in wires, right? So once again, making your money work for you in a way that makes sense is super important, and it's probably not your funnest thought, you know, because you just want to go and you just want to run your business and you just want to grow that. But if there are easy, you know, kind of pickings down below, it makes sense to take a 30-minute conversation with your bank and say, hey, these are the things I'm thinking about. So earnings credits, they're used to offset your fees and services like wires or transactions, or some of you with high cash volume accounts, like gas stations and grocery stores and stuff where you guys run a lot of money per se, it can offset those things. So an analyzed account can be free, or you can actually make money, or you can actually just, you know, negate some of the fees that you're already paying. Are they better or worse? You just have to have an analysis done, honestly. And so your banker can do apples to apples, and then you know exactly what you're going in at. And to be honest, if they're unwilling to do that for you, then that would be weird, right? Because you essentially pay them to do their job, and part of analyzing your businesses is part of their job. Let's see. Other things, most accounts allow, you know, for a number of free transactions, but as you guys grow, where do you hit that mark and does it make sense for you? Those are the questions you need to be asking. And you can also get additional fees as well as higher rates. Let's see. On an analyzed checking, you know, think about the services you do. Think about the fees that you have every month. I mean, honestly, I do analysis for banks and people, and they don't even know what they're being charged for. And when I come back, I'm like, well, you got charged for this, this, and this. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's right here, you know, every month actually. So the fact remains is, once again, all of that adds up in some sense, and all of that can be money back in your pocket, but it is a little extra work to think about it and to kind of put it on that. But once again, it's your banker's job to do that for you. So have them work for you. Earnings credit rates, every financial institution has a different rate. Everybody charges or actually pays you a different rate, and what that is can be anywhere from 0.5 to 0.1. So there's a huge difference on that. Online access, dual control, transfers, things like that. A lot of things, there's, you know, zero sweep accounts as well as a sweep account. So let's say you do ABC every month and you only need this amount of money. So if you get more money and business is better, it actually literally, and you don't have to think about it, it just sweeps into another account that then you actually can earn more money, and that money and interest can add up. So there are ways to automate it for you so you don't have to think too hard, but still make your money work for you. And once again, almost every financial institution has these accounts. Sweep account's a little bit more. Essentially, it goes from your operating account to your sweep. And let's say you have to shell out a whole bunch of money, because unfortunately that part happens, right? Once a month, once a quarter, once a year kind of thing. And so the money that's in your sweep account, if, let's say you, and I'll use round numbers, right? Let's say $10,000 is what we need in this one account. And if you make more than that, then all of it just keeps funneling in your sweep account. If all of a sudden the 10,000 goes to 2 and you need 8, it sweeps back over and then it pays everything else and it keeps that rate exactly what it needs to be. So it's convenient, you don't have to think too hard, it maximizes your earnings, and then you have liquid balances for a higher interest rate, and you can also use that extra money to pay down some of your loans and things. So you can get kind of tricky with it, and actually maximize more of your business that way. And having it be automated is obviously best case scenario. So once again, you have a lot of peace of mind that things are running and working, and you don't have to think too hard about your money while you go make more of it. So, any questions again? Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Well, hello, my name is Christy Massey. As Amber introduced me, I'm in the community development department. And can I just say before I start, I absolutely love the Eagle Chamber. It's we're involved with all of the chambers, and the Eagle Chamber is by far one of my favorites. I've always just felt very welcomed and just feel that family vibe. So thank you. So jumping right into what we do in community development. I'm not sure if I'm not holding this right.
It's not your fault.
Okay. I'll be very still. Like most organizations, we focus on volunteering, community involvement, events and sponsorships. We really want to give back in the community. But I've highlighted at the bottom our final focus, which is business partnership. And today, really what I want to go over is in my department, there are several of us that have all of these focuses, but in my role, I specifically focus on business partnership, which is why Amber and I work so well together, because she works with the businesses in the community to help them achieve financial success. And when she sees the opportunity for us to also help their employees, that's when she brings me into the picture. So, the next slide, I'm a super visual person, so I just created this visual. It's basically showing once I have a business partnership established, basically I'm going to work with that organization to find ways to be a financial resource to their employees, provide financial education, and the ways that we can customize this partnership I'm going to go into in more detail in the next slide. But what I really want to show you is kind of the flow of how this works. So once I've worked with the employees at your business and helping them achieve their financial goals or setting their goals, it promotes those happy, engaged employees. And what I don't have on here is what it also does is it lowers that turnover rate also when they're happy and they're engaged. And so how does this help your business? It increases productivity, it increases customer satisfaction, and in the end, it creates a positive culture. And so really what I want to share with you is if you can find the added value of bringing the financial education and bringing a financial resource into your workplace, I think that you'll find that it's really going to help your employees be more engaged, be more productive. It really just depends on your demographic and your workforce, but if they're living paycheck to paycheck, or if they need education on real estate or whatever it may be, I definitely can tell you that some of my business partners have told me that by me coming, it just has changed their entire workforce, small or large. So the next one is just basically some more detail on the ways that I can customize this partnership. And so the first one that I have listed is new employee orientation, and I list this one because it depends on the structure of your workforce. If everybody's in the office, or if people are working remote, sometimes it is just easier to work with employees as they enter the company. It also helps the organization by getting them set up with a bank account and getting that direct deposit set up right away. So it's beneficial to you, no paper checks. We also have involvement in health and wellness fairs for organizations. And I've even had some business partners, they see that added value of adding the financial education and resource to their workplace. And so they've even started having financial fairs, financial wellness fairs, which are awesome. On-site account setups is one of my favorites. So we do break room visits or come and be a part of team meetings. information and get the account set up. It also puts them at ease. I know that some businesses that I've worked with, maybe they're a little intimidated to go into a financial institution. Maybe they don't think that they have the best credit, or they're scared to ask those questions. And it is the best feeling when I'm in their world and in their space, and they feel safe approaching me with those financial questions. Because unlike Amber and I love this, and we talk about it all day long, but we do realize that not everybody geeks out on finances like we do, right? So it's really fun to build that relationship with businesses and their employees, and make them feel comfortable to approach me and help them build those financial goals and actually see them achieve them. Community involvement and sponsorship. I put this on here. While it's not one of my main focuses, I do include that in my focus with my business partnership, because I do have a lot of businesses that are nonprofit, and I feel like it's important to support them when they have fundraising events and so on. So I do include that because I want to be involved, whether it's volunteering or supporting that event. I just want to show my side of the partnership, and dedicate my time. And lastly, I have on here financial education. And depending on your workforce, the demographic, there's all topics that we can bring to the table. I have just listed a couple that are basic. But really, I worked for Idaho Central for the last 13 years, and I'm pretty well versed on all of our portfolios. However, if there was a topic that I needed to bring in an expert, I know all of them, and I am happy to bring them on site to help educate and be a resource for your employees. So in a nutshell, I love building relationships out there with businesses to help your employees. That's why Amber and I work so well together. And so if you have any questions, we are waiting until the end, but I'm happy to speak with any of you guys if you have any further questions about business partnership. Oh, one last thing. Everything that I do for business partnership is free. It's just part of us giving back. So.
Which is nice, because I worked at quite a few larger financial institutions, and though they say that community is something that they keep trying to give back, I've never seen a company actually hire people to go in and help your employees for free. So yes, it takes away from some of your productivity and the fact that she has to sit there, but the exponential gratitude that the employee has for you as a business owner, as well as then Christy to come in and help them. And it can be simple as like, I've got credit, I'm looking at a house, I might want to refinance, like all of that stuff. She works with them one-on-one, and she's pretty much their financial advocate. And so they just feel like they're empowered enough to then go into the branch and ask a question, or maybe they're at some other financial institution, and so she kind of helps them have enough resources to feel like when she does walk in, or they do walk in, they can ask the questions, And that's the other thing too, I want to reiterate, is just because you don't bank specifically your business side with Idaho Central, doesn't mean that Christy can't come and be a resource for your employee. Like, we just want to make sure that we're supporting our communities at large, and so we're not one of those where we're demanding that you have your business account with us to have Christy come out. You can have her without me, although we do like a package. But yeah, so I just think it's really, really awesome that ICCU kind of puts their money where their mouth is, and they help our communities like that. And it's not just green Jeeps and free pens, it's actually changing people's lives, literally. They can just have you. So, what do you consider when, kind of choosing or thinking about your financial institution? I know that especially through COVID, we learned many, many things, right? As far as like Zoom meetings and working remote and how amazing some of that is. But let's be real, sometimes you just need $5. And you're like, oh my God, I bought something on Marketplace and I don't have $5. So you do need a branch, right? So are your branches closed? Are they providing full remote service? So you can do your banking in your jammy pants, as well as the fact that when you do need $5 for Marketplace, or the random stuff my mom wants to buy for her. So do you need to go to a branch and and get money, right? So what do the services look like? Are they responsive? Are they kind when they talk to you guys? Do they actually get back? I mean, I don't know. I had a whole crazy thing at a pharmacist, and the lady's like, I will call you, and I almost cried, and I was like, God, I hope she calls me back. Like, oh, my kid really needs these drugs, right? So anyway, so do they have electronic services? How are they streamlining my business? Are they open to ideas? Are they open to thoughts? I mean, I have a client up north that wants, well, it turns out he wants a world. And we're gonna try to go make that happen for him. And other places I've worked, they're like, no, we just don't do that. That's not, you know, he has to come to us, we don't come to him. And at least at some of the financial institutions out there, they'll meet you halfway, or at least help you think of, you know, outside the box kind of ideas. And let's be real, we want to do business with people we like and people that help us get where we're going, right? Some other things to consider, you know, are they secure? Are they growing? You know, are they involved in my community? You know, do they have a slogan that they put on their website or they have on some posters, or do they actually live the values? Or do they do those two? And then, let's see, nationally ranked as far as what that looks like. And though Idaho is growing, and you know the financial institutions you want to do businesses with, are they still locally homegrown? Are we keeping our money in Idaho? Are we supporting jobs in Idaho and the people in Idaho? And that means something to us here, you know? And then, you know, have we done an RFP? So a request for, you know, planning, and have they done an analysis lately, and what that looks like. So, and just to make sure that your employees get the best, you get the best, and your futures are more secure. So, questions? I would love to think we did such a good job that you had no questions. But, yeah. Or if you don't, Christy's flyers are on the table. Once again, ICCU is committed to our communities, and they know the holidays are kind of an interesting time that's super joyful, but let's be real, it can get real expensive fast because my kid wants everything. So we're, you know, giving free money away, but it's also not just the money, it's a relationship as well as part of the future in our community, which is why we're so passionate about it. And then on the business side, we have other stuff too. So talking about your finances in public is never the easiest thing. So if you guys have questions, we'll be up here for a bit. And no questions weird, I promise. We've heard it way different than anything you can come up with. So.
And I just wanted to know too, if you guys are